Oh my gosh. You guys, you are not going to believe what is happening right now with the Amazing Digital Circus. The next episode, episode 5, is shaping up to be an absolute earth-shatterer, and we have got brand new teasers that prove it. This is the one that changes everything. Okay, so first off, let's talk about the adventure. We've been getting drips and drabs of info for ages, right? But things just exploded. Remember that whole Season 1 trailer where we saw glimpses of different places they'd go? We saw the void, the mansion, the restaurant. They all happened. And the last one teased in that original batch, a baseball stadium. For the longest time, fans were guessing Ep 5 would be baseball themed. And hold up, we got confirmation tucked away in episode 4 itself. The intro scene had Regatha teaching Gangle how to pitch. It was so random in the moment, but looking back, that was total foreshadowing, baby. It felt like they were practicing for a big game or something. But wait, it gets wilder. Baseball isn't the only sport we're talking about here. The creative genius herself, Gooseworks, dropped this picture. A picture of Jax getting totally smushed by a bowling ball. At first, you might just laugh, because come on, it's Jax. But this wasn't just a random doodle. This is likely a spoiler, telling us bowling is also on the menu for Ep 5. And rewind all the way back to the pilot episode. Remember that scene where Jax hurls a bowling ball down to get Kinger and Gangle to the basement, and it rolls down and knocks over pins? Yeah, that wasn't just a funny gag either. That was foreshadowing too. Like, the hints were there all along. And now we have the brand new animation from Glitch that just dropped. They titled the full video, Zooble Car is the Future. And in it, we see Kane literally turning Zooble into some kind of car. What does that even mean? Well, the fans are already buzzing about a wacky race adventure, like a full-on Digital Circus Mario Kart situation. How cool would that be? And it makes total sense because racing is also a sport. We even saw a crazy chase scene back in episode 2 with Gummy and his crew that could totally be seen as foreshadowing this racing idea. So we're looking at baseball, bowling, and racing, all potentially crammed into one episode. Multiple sports themes coming together for an epic adventure. It fits the crazy, chaotic energy of the circus perfectly. And these recent teasers are all screaming, sports adventure for episode 5. Keep your eyes peeled, because there could be even more sports surprises waiting for us. Okay, so the adventure is going to be insane, but how about the release date? This new Zooble Car animation is huge for that too. Before this, Glitch had to split their focus because they were working on their other new show, The Gaslight District. That took a lot of their energy, and we even heard there might be a bit of a delay for TADC because of it. But guess what? The Gaslight District pilot is out. It dropped back on April 18th, right? And with that launched, this new Zooble animation feels like a giant flashing sign saying Glitch is 100% focused on episode 5 now. The more official teasers and animations we get, the closer we know we are to the episode dropping. But get this! Gooseworks herself made a post recently that was, well, it was honest, maybe too honest, but it gave us huge insights. She talked about why she says the show is for an older audience, mentioning that she knows the second they cross some sort of line, weirdos will get upset about evil ideas and concepts without a warning. This is a direct hint that some pretty dark and messed up stuff is coming, potentially in Ep 5 and definitely later on. We already knew episode 6 was rumored to be controversial with a dark joke, but this sounds like more widespread themes. And then she added a disclaimer. Episode 5 was written back in 2023. Read that again, written in 2023. This is huge because it confirms the script has been done for ages. The hardest part of the creative process, the writing, is already in the bag. That means the only major stages left are animation and final polishing. With Glitch focusing entirely on TADC now, that means episode 5 could be here sooner rather than later. Forget those worries about it taking forever. The foundation is laid, and they are building that episode right now. But that 2023 writing date also connects back to the dark ideas. Goose mentioned that 2023 was a time when she was more used to these ideas. This implies that some of those darker, more messed up concepts she was talking about are baked right into episode 5. What could they be? Well, fans put together some pieces. One fan shared a post referencing an earlier Gooseworks comment where she confirmed a line for episode 5 shows there's meant to be a lot of chaos in this one. And guess who's likely causing it? Jax! This ties in perfectly with what we've seen happen to Jax in the earlier episodes. Remember how the lack of violence and chaos on adventures seemed to be messing with him, making him more and more upset? It felt like he was building towards a breaking point. This leak suggests we might finally see that break in episode 5, and he could be the one unleashing the promised chaos. And speaking of leaks, a fan recently made a huge discovery. They found that the episode 5 trailer video was secretly released on Glitch's official channel. How? Apparently, if you check the Amazing Digital Circus playlist on their channel, it was recently updated, but no new video was public. This almost certainly means the episode 5 trailer is finished and currently privated. Glitch's playlists only update for new official videos or project updates. And since the Gaslight District pilot and its promo video are already fully launched, the only thing this update could possibly be for is Digital Circus Episode 5. This tells us the episode is so close that the trailer is ready to go. And you know what trailers usually reveal at the end? The release date. They're just waiting for the perfect moment to make it public. But hold up, there's even more specific character stuff that makes this episode a game changer. We've heard it confirmed that something bad is going to happen to Ragatha in episode 5. There are 4 early previews about this, and it's intense. First preview, a fan on Tumblr asked Goose if Ragatha would be okay after Ep 5 because they heard she'd be one of the main stars. Goose responded with an awkward laugh. An awkward laugh. That pretty much confirms whatever happens is going to change her in some way. And maybe she won't even be okay in future episodes. Second preview, Goose talked about abstraction again. A fan asked if NPCs like Gummy Goo would keep abstracting. Goose said they probably wouldn't do that story again with NPCs because they already did it. But she only talked about NPCs. This phrasing makes it sound like one of the main circus members is at risk of abstracting. Why would she say that otherwise? And we've only seen the aftermath of Kaufmo's abstraction in the pilot, and the process only in Pomni's dream in Ep 2. We need to see a main character at least partially abstract to understand what it's really like. And who's it gonna be? Ragatha! How do we know? Well, aside from Goose hinting something questionable happens to her, there was another huge hint. A while back, a fan asked Goose who the closest member of the circus is to going insane, because insanity basically leads to abstraction. Look at Kaufmo writing on the walls. Goose's answer, the character we least suspect. Think about everyone in the circus, who is always the most kind, caring, positive one, always looking out for others. Ragatha, she fits least suspect perfectly. And there's more proof Ragatha is heading towards a breakdown. Goose gave a secret about Ragatha's character. Instead of dealing with issues, she internalizes them. She lets them build up inside while pretending everything is fine. We saw a hint of this in the Ep 4 Stupid Sauce scene, where she admitted to hating Jax but pretended not to, so everyone would like her. Anyways, facts, I like hate you, but I don't want you to hate me. The fact that she bottles things up means eventually she has to snap. She can't keep being fake forever, and that could lead to her losing her mind, going insane, and potentially abstracting. Third preview, we're getting Ragatha's secret backstory in episode 5, more info on her past life before the circus. This was hinted at in the Ep 4 Stupid Sauce scene too, where she was super relaxed and said something specific. I miss my horses. People thought it was random, but Goose actually confirmed on Tumblr that Ragatha did have horses, and it's important to her overall story and her secret identity. Goose confirmed Ragatha is based on Raggedy Ann from Raggedy Ann and Andy, and that movie had a horse character. Connecting Ragatha to horses in the show is a huge hint about her past and identity that we'll finally see in episode 5. Fourth preview, how Ragatha might abstract. We got an early preview of how she's meant to change, and it involves seeing some sort of evil side to her. Goose posted an image of her and said people getting attached to this evil version would make a future episode so much funnier. We've seen hints of this evil side before, like her shadow in Pomni's dream in Ep 2, but a new image in Goose's comment confirmed Ep 5 is the evil Ragatha episode, and she gave a line from Ep 5 too when asked for one from Ragatha. Not anymore. This is a major clue confirming a big change for her, and paired with the earlier hints, it's likely not a good change. She might be saying, I'm not kind or positive or holding it together anymore, but remember how Goose said Ep 5 would focus equally on Ragatha and Jax? This episode isn't just about Ragatha's potential breakdown, it's about Jax too. We've seen Jax's character develop a ton across episodes 3 and 4. In Ep 3, his usual chaotic bullying seemed too much for the others, especially in the creepy mansion. He even got tied up. He was clearly frustrated by being restricted, showing that he needs chaos to thrive. And he seemed genuinely annoyed that his jokes weren't landing with Pomni anymore at the end. Then came Ep 4, and wow, Jax was different. For the first time, he seemed reluctant to cause harm to Gangle. His usual confidence was shaken at the start of the Spudsies' adventure, and when Gangle announced the tasks, Jax looked utterly confused and downright distressed. He realized this was revenge, and it hit him hard. He even went to Zubal, someone he usually antagonizes, to try and convince her to ditch work. This shows how desperate and out of his element he was. He looked genuinely scared by Gangle having power over him, and the whole experience seemed to be pushing him towards a depressive state. He couldn't control his anger like usual, proving his mental state was worsening. The final scene of him talking to Pomni wasn't sarcastic. He seemed genuinely relieved the awful shift was over. His spark was fading, but now, with the leak about Jax likely causing chaos in Ep 5, and the teaser with him holding explosives, it seems episode 5 will be a turning point for him too. After being shut down and depressed by the lack of chaos in Ep 3 and 4, episode 5 could be his return to his chaotic ways, or at least the first steps towards it. Goose confirmed the spotlight is on Jax and Ragatha equally, so we'll see major development for both. How will Jax's potential return to chaos intertwine with Ragatha's potential breakdown? It's gonna be wild. And let's not forget the abstraction concept overall. Kaufmo might not have just gone insane, he might have found a way to escape. The doors with the 6 crossed out figures could be people who abstracted and left. Is Ragatha going to abstract, or is she going to find a different way out? Or will her abstraction reveal more about Kaufmo's fate? Episode 5 of the Amazing Digital Circus is absolutely going to change everything. Get ready guys, it's coming and it's gonna be insane.